Hi dude. So, I know it's been a few weeks since I've sent you your birthday present, which is similar to Daddy's here. A Gran Turismo racing seat. Beginner Simulator racing seat. That was yours, mine is just a play seat. This is what you should have got with it. You should have got the seat, the steering wheel, the pedals with its own pads, and then you should have got the all these here, this long bar here, the steering wheel support section, which is this one here. That's the steering wheel mount, and that's the pedal mount. That one. To do this, you're going to need a few tools, and the ones that he's using is a ratchet and HW5 and a HW6 Allen key socket. That is bought a few extra screws because when I thought there's a few missing. You should also receive the transformer that feeds power onto the steering wheel. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn that seat around and get this bar onto this pedal mount. So this one here, that's how it goes. It goes in there like that actually. It's supposed to go in there like that. You put the bolt through this end, and on the other end there should be a nut. If it isn't welded onto here, then you should have got it separately. So that is going to do that now. So you need to make sure when you assemble this part that the pedal pad facing that way and this bar is facing this way, because this is going to fit on the seat just like this. Just like that. And if you have it facing the other way around, the pedal's going to be facing the other way around, so it needs to be this way. Now this is done, that it hasn't fixed that part there because it needs to be adjusted after it's all assembled. It needs to be adjusted for you to be more comfortable, in a position for you to be more comfortable using your pedals and your steering wheel when playing games. So the next thing to do now is to feed this through there. So feed it through there like this. And you can pretty much insert it there where the seat is. So that's like the basis of that. And this part goes on here, like that. Now that isn't going to fasten any of these knobs because they need to be adjusted to provide you a better position for gaming. But now this is done, then the next thing you can do is to assemble your pedals. In fact, now come to think about it, I am going to do that before I insert that into the steering support mount. And this needs to go there. This also will need to be adjusted for you to have a more comfortable position when using the pedals and steering wheel. I'm assembling it in a way that's going to be comfortable for me to use it. So don't use the same settings, don't use the same measurements when it comes to adjusting it all. So I'm just going to put this together, and then I'm going to put that back through the steering wheel support mount, and that'll be that unit pretty much assembled. And the way you assemble these pedals onto here, and if you can see these holes here. Now don't worry if you can't get all the screws in there, like I said before, because of the way that he adjusted his, because I've adjusted it before, I know exactly what I need to do now. But on Daddy's example, I can always manage to get these two in, no other screws in. There's one down here, right down here, I can nearly get it in, but nearly, I couldn't get it in, and I didn't want to force it and then round off the threads on the bolt. So that's that one there done. Now, when it comes to the cable, especially if you feed it through the back, maybe through there, and put some electrical tape around it, or maybe like that, and it goes through there, and then up the steering column mount. So I'm going to move on to the next step, which is to insert this here. Make sure you don't pull any cables, or you don't pull any cables, because then it can cause expensive damage, or can cause your simulator not to work. So the next thing to do is to make sure your cable from your pedals is carefully placed through here, and then what you can do to always leave a little bit of slack there, just in case. And what you can do is to make it go around this pole here a couple of times, and then this needs to be going up that section there. Take this one off first. Yeah, so before you put your steering wheel on, actually, you just feed your cables through here. You're going to need to feed the cable for your pedals, also your power leads. Okay. Same principle here. We go around here, around once or twice, and then feed it all the way to the top there. There it is. You don't need a lot of cable on this side, and because it's a power lead, and you might need to use a plug further away from the seat, I suggest you maybe leave. It comes out of there. Yeah, this much will be enough. So there you go, like that. It's going to be enough. Now you have your cables coming through here. There's in fact one more cable that needs to go through, but it doesn't come upwards, it goes downwards. And that's the USB cable coming from your steering wheel. Now because it's being fed the other way around, it will go through there. Daddy will feed these through here, coming out that end, and then I'll feed this one through here. These cables here, this power feed, this power cable goes into there. I don't know if you can see there. This one's for the pedals, there's a symbol there telling you it's for the pedals. And that one's for the shifter, which that isn't going to connect. Now once the cables are through, you will need to screw two bolts in there. These two will go on, I believe, these two holes here. Yeah, because then this clamp needs to be sitting here at the end. So if you put it too far out, I suspect if you use these two, they'll be too far out. So that's the next step, but only after you've plugged in all your cables. That's going to do that now. Once you've put the steering wheel on there and put the two bolts through here, to make sure it's secure, you need to fasten these. These should be just under the metal plate. You screw it like that. Once it's screwed, you press it down. See that? Once you've done screwing and clamping this onto the plate, press it down, turn it slightly, and it locks it down. At this stage, this is pretty much assembled. Just need to insert that there. But now comes the part of adjustment. This here, your pedal, you have to adjust that first, the height of your pedals. So the way that it does it is if you see, so you see your feet are coming from that way. So what you need to do is make sure that the pedal stays vertical. So like the pedals will be adjusted to stay, in this case, for it to be like this. And the pedals you're going to be using are these two. You won't be using this one as much because this is the clutch. You'll be using the brake and the accelerator. That's why that is placed them. The gap in the middle here, that they align that with the steering column. Because my left foot is going to come over this side and my right foot over the other side. So if you used to adjust this further that way, there's a chance you won't be able to get your foot on the brake pedal. And to unfold your chair is simple as probably the simplest thing to do. Lift it up, and that's that. That's your chair. Ready? Now, when it comes to distance between the pedals and you, as you can see, this is very far for Daddy. They need to be in a position where your knee is slightly bent. So when you're pressing the pedal, it does that. Do you understand? So in Daddy's case, this is the steering column. So if you push this, it's not going to pull. If you pull this, it's not going to pull the pedals. So you need to be pulling this bar down here. Remember this bar? You need to pull this bar down here until your foot can press the pedal comfortably, like that. That's your brake, and that's your accelerator. You see how that is? Knee is slightly bent, and then of course when I press the pedal, I'll go slightly forward, but not all the way forward, so your leg doesn't go flat when you press the pedal. Okay, then once that's done, then you need to be fastening this knob here. Now, because these can sometimes exert your hands doing so, because you have to use quite a bit of strength, you can just use a cloth, place it over the knob, and then fasten it as much as you can. Once you've done that, you can double check if pedals are in the right position. And yeah, perfect. See what I mean about this steering column being lined up with the gap between pedals? Because I can get this foot here comfortably, and I can get this one here comfortably too. Now when it comes to the steering wheel, there's two ways you can adjust it. You can adjust the distance and the height of it as well. So that's the distance. And the height, the distance and the height are going to depend on how high you want your steering wheel too. Steering wheel should be, let's say for Daddy it should be just below chest height. So the center here should be just below center height. The center here should be just below chest height, between the belly and the chest. Once that is done, then don't forget your cloth, and you fasten this knob here. Just like, if you need to use two hands, then go ahead, or get someone with a bit more strength. So that's the steering wheel at the height I want it. Now we need to figure out how far away from me do I want it. Now you don't want the steering wheel too close to you, because then when you're turning, if you have to do more than half a turn, okay, if it's too close, it's going to be awkward for your hands. The way for you to figure out that, the best way to do it is just to have the game on and then adjust it to different distances between you and the steering wheel and figure out what's best for you. I'd say the best for me is perhaps this far away. I'd say this far away. Once I'm happy with the distance between the steering wheel and the height, then I'll need to fasten this knob here. And same thing, again, use the cloth to fasten it. This one is a bit of an awkward one because it's next to this column, so there isn't much of a gap for you. So now that's that done, the adjustment is done. The next thing you need to do is plug this into your PlayStation USB port, and then your power lead needs to be plugged in. Turn your PlayStation on. First thing that will happen when you turn it on is the steering wheel will turn full lock both ways, and then go back to the middle like this. That's all for now. That's all there is to assembling this. I'll show you once again the way I've adjusted it. You see the pedal there, look at that is leg. It isn't fully stretched, it isn't very bent like this, because if you have like this, then this might just get in the way. And plus you can apply more pressure on the pedals if you're pushing your foot forward rather than downwards. So that pedal is great there. Accelerator is great there. The steering wheel is perfect for that in. Sides. And once all this is done, turn the PlayStation on and start having some fun with the game. That is going to publish some footage, some gameplay footage, also giving you a few tips and hints on how to improve your skills. Because at the age of 12, there's only so much you can know about cars and how to set them up to race. One of the things is that sometimes when I'm playing, I find that this sometimes happens, it wobbles sideways. But the way to fix that, first of all, there's a couple of parts here that you can screw upwards or downwards to reduce the wobbling. And the other thing you can do is put something under there. That way it stops it from wobbling just as much. It can be anything, it can be like, for example, I have it to hand here, piece of cardboard. So, like this, and it should stop, you can see it should stop it from wobbling to one side or the other. So this is all for now. And Daddy will see you on the next few clips, which are going to be gameplay on Gran Turismo mainly, and the 2.0 too. So all good, have fun baby, bye bye.